Quam. 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 Shalom, shalom. Hurricanes dance on the water, travel the hard land. Hard to know if it's done by man or if it was Yah's plan. Yah gave us dominion over beasts like we Tarzan. The Torah help you maneuver through life. Get out the hard jam. Crush a couple grapes, meditate. Don't let the time pass. Hit the vineyard, go ahead and get your wine glass. The last will be first, but first will certainly be last. Looking at the heavens, the Allahayim flying past. Chariots defy gravity, they flying fast. The hot gas from the throne, the turn rock the glass. The horn blast let you know that we own your ass. Teeth of a herbivore, we only meant to eat the grass.
Hello.
Major shot to Moses, major shot to Joshua. Everything that y'all commanded, guaranteed they got it done. The blood of the family through the man, that's just how it's done. So you know the importance of you having to have a son, the son of Yah, like the sun to shine. It'll hurt your eyes under no circumstance. Follow idols or be idolized. Wait 8 days and have your son circumcised. The love of Yah is keeping commandments, teaching to teach no lies. And if you have a daughter, different process to be purified. Never fight your brother, we must all be unified. We've been taught from the youth these lies. It's you and I, but it ain't no you and I. At the same time, we might not see eye to eye. We all fall short on earth, we just gotta try. The Most High see everything that you got inside, but the 7th thing that y'all hate, I'll give you a clue. One is pride.
Hello. Hello. To let my people go.
Quam. Shalom, shalom.
Elohe Abraham, Elohe Yitzchak, Elohe Yisrael. Modei ani lefanecha, Malaka Vikayam. Shehei Gazarta Bi Nishmati, Yikim La Rabba Umunatecha. Giving all thanks and praise to the Most High, King of the universe. Giving him all thanks and praise for all that he is, all that he will be, and all that he has been.
Want to break into cybersecurity but don't have experience? The Google Cybersecurity Certificate.
When will we be free? Nobody knows. When will we all see? Nobody knows. Why they tried to hide the truth like nobody knows. And if real was a place, that's where nobody go. When will judgment come? Nobody know. Follow y'all keeping Torah, that ain't nobody goes. Why when we need help, don't nobody show. Stagnate our whole mind state, nobody grow. When will a hate stop? Nobody know. I was just on the block with a snotty ass nose, with a Glock and some rocks and some thotty ass hoes. Can't judge for what you see, cause nobody know. Some sleep hard and some sleep light. Never know when you sleep one last night. Never know how long you last in the fast life. I was trying to live life, almost died last night. Pray to the east, rise in the west. Feet to the south, head to the north. Nobody know that day that's coming forth. Even Martin Luther King had a day up in court. I never ever ever eat pork. Bottle up a lot of sales just like a cork. I don't know where I'm by myself. Easy Isaac didn't know the day of his death. Nobody know how many days they got left. That's why I praise y'all till my last breath. Don't fight over possession cause you never know. They'll probably lock you up and sell it for the low. In this world for the money anything go. When you low it's like where everybody go. Nobody know but you know that y'all do. Open up your Torah, let it edify you.
Praise y'all. Hallelujah. It's your boy Yahudah. And I'm back with another episode of Word of Mouth. Hey y'all. Live in effect, live and direct. You hear me? Now look, we back with another episode of Word of Mouth. A special morning manna edition as well. Now I'm in the ark right now. I'm in the common area of the ark right now. And I come to you with a very, very special presentation. A closer look at Joseph in closing. This special 3-part edition of A Closer Look at Joseph. And this is the Morning Manna edition. In closing, we're gonna see that halo there, we're gonna finish this story because I had to give it proper attention. I had to do my due diligence. So what I want to do now is I want to reiterate on Joseph and just catch up to speed everyone who didn't see Closer Look at Joseph 1 and a Closer Look at Joseph 2. This is a closer look at Joseph 3 in closing. So if you didn't catch a closer look at Joseph 1 and 2, let me fill you in. Shalom, shalom. I am Yahudah. Praise Yah. Hallelujah. This is the Word of Mouth podcast. I am your humble host. And in this special presentation, we were taking a closer look at Joseph. Who is Joseph? Son of Jacob. at an old age. Who was the mother? Rachel. Very special birth for the simple fact that a couple reasons. One, this child was born at his old age. Two, Rachel, at this period of time, Rachel she wasn't having children at this time, and she thought something was wrong. The Most High opened up her womb, allowed her to have another son, and she looked at it as a great blessing. Or to have a son, she looked at it as a great blessing. We later find out that Rachel had Joseph, and then she had Benjamin, but in the midst of having Benjamin, she passed away. Rest in Shalom, Rachel. But we also realize that Joseph was the firstborn. Very significant. Joseph was the firstborn. See, let me explain to you, and let me explain to you. See, right here I have Facebook, and right here I have YouTube. Shalom YouTube, Shalom Facebook. And we're going to break this down very thoroughly and show great respect to all the viewers and show great respect to all of our ancestors and Yah, of course, and foremost. So we realize that he was the firstborn, very significant. Look up the firstborn and the significance of the firstborns on your own time. I'll do a special on that as well. Stay tuned. So years go by, we see that Joseph, loves Jacob, which names him to Israel, loves Joseph more. The Most High is with Joseph at this particular time. Now Joseph had a dream, and he told his brothers the dream. The dream was he had different bags, and their bags bowed down to his bags. But it was symbolic to him being the king in the future time, and then, being under him. They didn't like this dream so much. So much so that they conspired against him, and they ultimately put him in a pit, and he ultimately became a prisoner. They sold him to Ishmaelites for 20 pieces of silver. As a result of them selling him as a prisoner to the Ishmaelites, he then turns into the hands of the Egyptians and becomes a slave to Egyptians. Ended up in the prison. But he did so much good work, and Yah was with him the whole time, and Yah gave him many visions, just like the vision he had in his own dream. He had more visions, and he was able to, and Yah gave him the ability to interpret these dreams. So as a result of him being such a great worker and person, and so close to Yah and all of the stuff that Yah gave him, his reputation preceded him as a spiritual person and a trustworthy person. So what happened was, in further time, Pharaoh had a dream to be interpreted, but no one could interpret it. None of the people that was able to do these type of things in the past, the magicians and all of his people. So somebody referred Joseph to him and said, Joseph know how to interpret dreams. The Pharaoh had a future prophecy dream. Joseph was able to interpret this dream. The dream was that 7 years that Egypt was going to be, have abundance of everything. And then following 7 years, they're not going to have anything. So as a result of him interpreting that dream, and as a result of the advice that he gave him, Pharaoh and Egypt became a superpower of the world. And as a result of the success that the advice gave him, Pharaoh decided to make Joseph second in command under himself. So this is the point where I'm going to pick the story up from. I just wanted to catch everybody up to speed to all of these things here. But before I pick that story up, I want to give a few shout outs. Allow me, please. First and foremost, I want to give a special thanks to all of the viewers, all of the word of mouth supporters and listeners. Thank you. I appreciate you. Much love and respect to you and your family. Divine Yacht, way out in the Caribbean islands, St. Vincent to be exact. Much love and respect to you and your family. Rafa Allah, Yasha Allah, Rafa Allah, A. Arthur. Much love and respect to you and your family. Everybody who's viewing, make sure you go to www.truthovertraditions.com to check out her website. She has products for your hair, your skin, your teeth. She has garments. She has books. www.truthovertraditions.com. Much love and respect to you and your family. Dr. Moray UL. Much love and respect to you and your family. Check out his book, The Hebrew Thought of Passover. He has many other books. Dr. Moray UL. Shout out Hollow Herbs, way out in Toronto, Canada. All my people and scattered across the four corners of the earth, much love and respect to you. The Sweet 704, Benny Smith Jr., aka DJ Uncle Benny, Tony Picasso, Hugo, Nolan, I see you. Much love and respect to everyone. In the midst of your coming and going, I appreciate you. If it's morning, evening, or night, I appreciate you tuning in. If you saw this video already, if you see it in the future, or if you watch it currently, I appreciate you. This is another episode of Word of Mouth. I am your host, your humble host, Yahudah, praise Yah, hallelujah. And this is Morning Manna Edition. I'm in the Ark right now. I'm in the midst of doing work. I was taking a break, right? But I wanted to do the closer look at Joseph in closing. And it took 3 videos to give a small look at this. I would highly suggest that you do further studies on these things. It's very, very beneficial spiritually. So what I want to do now is I want to pick back up at this story at Genesis chapter 41. Genesis chapter 41. Don't meet me there, beat me there, guys. Genesis chapter 41. And we're going to go in like verse 38. Well, we can go actually verse 37. Verse 37, verse 36. So we're going to go Genesis chapter 41, verse 36, guys. Genesis chapter 34, Genesis chapter 41, verse 36. Genesis chapter 41, verse 36. Don't meet me there, beat me there, guys. Genesis chapter 41. We're going to drop down to verse 36. And the food shall be the store to the land against the 7 years of famine, which shall be in the land of Egypt, and the land perish not throughout the famine. And the thing was good in the eyes of Pharaoh, and in the eyes of all the servants. And Pharaoh said unto the servants, Can we find such one as this, a man whom the spirit of Elohim is? And Pharaoh said unto Joseph, For so much as Elohim has shown thee, all this there is none so discreet and wise as thou. Thou shalt be over my house, and according unto the word shall all my people be ruled. Only in the throne will I be greater than thou. Huh. So let's take a look at that really fast. Because what I'm saying to you guys is this. This is my point that I'm making, guys. This is the point that I'm making. For all of the people who love Egypt and Kemet and think that they're super great and stuff like that, what I'm saying is they're great, yes, but the beginning of their success is Joseph. Huh? Egypt was a place already. Huh? But what I'm saying is what Joseph did drove the success through the roof to be a superpower of the world. Huh? And a lot of things after that as well, you can contribute to our people as well. But the closer look at Joseph is to show respect to the power of Yah. Yah does all of these things. Sometimes Yah bring a whole civilization and a kingdom to the height just to bring it down or just to show his power. That's what it's all about. So it's about the closer look at Joseph, but it's more over the power of Yah. Respecting the power of Yah and not respecting Egypt, not respecting these pharaohs. Let's put it into context. Let's get it on the because we need to understand where this stuff stems from. What is the driving force behind all of this stuff that we see in this Yah? And we see that through a closer look at Joseph. So let's continue. So we see here, excuse me. So basically, we can see right here that Pharaoh was so impressed with his interpretation, not just the interpretation of the dream. He was really impressed with the plan and the fact that the plan worked and how good the plan worked. It's kind of like the Dave Chappelle deal. The deal was initially for like this said it was for 50 million, and then he made 500 million. It exceeded abundantly the original thought of the plan, something like that. So he was impressed so much that he gave him, and let's continue what was going on here. Let's continue. It says, and Pharaoh took off his ring from his hand, put upon Joseph's hand array of vestures and fine linen, and put gold chains around his neck. And he made him ride the second chariot which he had, and cried before him, and cried before him, and he set him over. He set him over all the land of Egypt. So Joseph was second in command. Verse 46. And Joseph was 30 years old when he stood before Pharaoh, king of Egypt. And Joseph went out from the presence of Pharaoh and went through all the land of Egypt. So this happened. He was 30 years old, guys. So Joseph was 30 years old when this took place. When he was given the authority as second commander of Egypt, he was 30 years old. And in the 7 years of plenty, the earth brought forth heaps, and they gathered all the food of the 7 years which were in the land of Egypt, and laid up the food of the cities, the food of the field which were round about the cities laid he up the same. So it's just like so I used to work at a place called ADM. And this place is a factory that basically stripped corn down to the germ and use each part of that for a different purpose. And it's kind of like it's like this place called ADM. It's located in Decatur, Illinois, and this place is like a den. This place is like a den of evil scientists. It's a wicked place, a very bad place, and it basically reminds me of Egypt, because this place stores up corn and it sells it to the world, just like Egypt did in this ancient time. But it strips it down to the germ, and then it disrespects the concept of leaving things for the animals and poor, and not taking every single thing. It just takes every single thing. That's what the United States do. They always take everything. They leave nothing, and you're not supposed to do that. But that's a different story. But getting back to the story, the whole world came up to Egypt, and they became super rich because of this, guys. And we're going to drop down. So we're going to go to Genesis chapter 42. We're going to go Genesis chapter 42, guys. We're going to go Genesis chapter 42. And we're going to finish this. We're going to continue with the story. So we see after the 7 years of plentiful and the 7 years of famine, all of the world came to Egypt to get food. There was no other food. So we see they was able to become a superpower at this time. This is how they became super rich. As a result of them becoming super rich, Pharaoh made Joseph second in command under him. So he became royalty at that time. We're gonna go Genesis chapter 42. Genesis chapter 42, we're going to go verse 1. Genesis chapter 42, verse 1. Genesis chapter 42, verse 1. Now Jacob saw that there was corn in Egypt, and Jacob said unto his sons, why do you look one upon another? And he said, behold, I have heard that there is corn in Egypt. Get you down hither and buy for us from thence, that we may live and not die. Come. And Joseph's 10 brethren went down to buy corn from Egypt. But Benjamin, Joseph's brother Jacob, sent not with his brethren, for he said, Lest peradventure harm befall him, then, then, the, then the sons of Israel can come by among them to those that came, for the famine was in the land of Canaan. Come. And Joseph was a governor over the land. It was that sold to all the people of the land. And Joseph's brethren came and bowed down to him with their face to the earth. Come. So this right here, let's stop right here for 1 second. Let's stop right here for 1 second and let me highlight a few things, guys. Let's highlight a few things, guys. Come. Let me zoom this in 1 second, guys. 1 second to zoom this in just a little bit. Okay. So we see that at this particular time, this is from the point of view of Jacob and the sons and his brothers. So from the point of view of Joseph, he's in royalty. He's living a life of a pharaoh of Egypt. He's living the lifestyle. And on the other side, his dad and his brothers, they're in the midst of the famine. So Jacob say, go down to Egypt. Word came back that they got corn. Go down to Egypt and get us some food. He said, I want y'all to go, but I want Benjamin to stay here. If something happened to y'all, at least one of the brothers will be here. He can continue the legacy. And then we also see that prophecy of the dream was being fulfilled at this moment. The dream that he had, when his bags will stand up right, and all the brothers' bags will bow down to his bag. And even his dad didn't understand. He was like, "What? So would it mean your mom's supposed to bow down to you too?" But it also said that the dad remembered what he said, so he kind of took heed to what he said at the same time. But that prophecy, that dream, that prophecy is being fulfilled right here. So we see in that moment that's taking place. Let's continue. Let's continue. Let's see where this goes. Okay. Verse 7. And Joseph saw his brethren, and he knew them, but made himself strange unto them, and spoke roughly with them. And he said unto them, Whence come ye? And they said, From the land of Canaan, to buy food. And Joseph knew his brethren, but they knew him not. And Joseph remembered the dream which he dreamed of them, and said unto them, Ye are spies, to see the nakedness of the land ye are come. And they said unto him, Nay, my lord, but to buy food are they servants come. We are all one man's sons. We are upright men. Thy servants are no spies. And he said unto them, Nay, but to see the nakedness of the land you are come. And he said, We, thy servants, are 12 brethren, the son of one man in the land of Canaan. And behold, the youngest is this day with our father, and one is not. And Joseph said unto them, That is it that I spoke unto you, saying, You are spies. Hereby ye shall be proved as Pharaoh liveth, you shall not go forth hence, except your youngest brother come hither. Send one of you and let him fetch your brother, and ye shall be bound, that your words may be proved, whether there be true in you or else. As Pharaoh liveth, surely you are spies. And he put them all together and ward 3 days. And Joseph said unto them the third day, This do and live, or I fear God Elohim. If ye be a right man, let one of your brethren be bound in your prison house, but go ye carry corn for the famine of your houses, and bring your youngest brother unto me, so shall your words be verified, and you shall not die. And they did so. And they said one to another, We are verily guilty concerning our brother, in that we saw the distress in his soul when he besought us, and we would not hear. Therefore, is this distress come upon us. And Reuben answered them, saying, Spoke I not unto you, saying, Do not sin against the child, and ye would not hear. Therefore also, behold, his blood is required. And they knew not that Joseph understood them, for the interpretation were between them. And he turned himself about from them and wept. And he returned to them and spoke to them, and took Simeon from among them and bound him before their eyes. Then Joseph commanded to fill their vessels with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision. Salakia. Let me put this charger in here before this thing dies. There we go. Verse 25. Then Joseph commanded to fill their vessel with corn, and to restore every man's money into his sack, and to give them provision on their way. And thus was it done unto them. And they laded their asses unto their corn, and departed thence. And as one of them opened his sack to give his ass provider in the lodging place, he espied his money, and behold, it was in the mouth of his sack. And he said unto his brethren, My money is restored, and lo, it is even in my sack. And their heart failed them, and they turned trembling one to another, saying, What is this that Elohim hath done unto us? And they came unto Jacob their father in the land of Canaan, and told him all that had fell upon them, saying, The man, the Lord of the land, spoke roughly with us, and took us for spies in the country. And we said unto him, We are upright men, we are no spies. We are 12 brethren, sons of our father. One is not, and the youngest is this day with our father in the land of Canaan. And the man that that the Lord of the land said unto us, Hereby shall I know that ye are upright men. Leave one of your brethren with me, and take corn for your famine of the house, and go your way. And brought the youngest brother unto me. Then shall I know that ye are no spies, but that ye are upright men. So will I deliver you your brother, and you shall traffic in the land. And it came to pass as they emptied their sacks, and behold, every man's bundle of money was in the sack. And then they fathers saw their bundles of money, they were afraid. Jacob their father said unto them, May have you brethren my children. Joseph is not, and Simeon is not, and ye will take Benjamin away. Upon me are all these things come. And Reuben spoke unto his father, saying, Thou shalt slay my 2 sons, if I bring him not to thee. Deliver him into my hand, and I will bring him back to thee. And he said, My son shall not go down with you, for his brother is dead, and he only is left. if harm befall him by the way in which ye go, then will ye bring down my gray hairs and sorrow to the grave. Uh, so basically, what's going on here, guys? Shalom, shalom. Much love and respect. Anybody who's tuning in, everybody who's watching right now, much love and respect. This is an episode of Word of Mouth, a morning manna edition at that. This is a closer look at Joseph in closing. And right now, we're going over Genesis chapter 42. And basically what's going on here is the famine has taken over the land. The word that Egypt has got back to Joseph, well, to Jacob. Jacob tell the other sons to go to Egypt and get corn so that we can eat. So they came down to get corn. In the midst of them getting corn, Joseph noticed them, but they didn't notice Joseph. But with Joseph didn't let himself be known. He still let himself be hidden. So he basically looked like a pharaoh. He looked like an Egyptian person. He was younger when that happened to him. Like I said, this is when he was 30. He was grown now. Could have been older than 30 at this particular time. So he basically spoke to them rough, and he basically knew that he knew everything, but he did it a certain way. He said, "Bring your brother, your little brother back. That's the only way that I believe you." And if you remember the beginning of the story, every brother wasn't with this. They didn't want to do this. You see, Reuben didn't want to do it. All the brothers didn't want to sell him to. They didn't want to conspire against him. It was only certain brothers that wanted to. So in the midst of him telling them this, he started to cry. He had to step off and get himself together. He came back and gave him the corn and told him all the stipulations. So we see that when the brothers go back and tell their dad, it stresses him out, and it is great grief in the family because of this whole situation. So the brothers are stressed out because they feel like everything they did in the past is coming back to them, coming back to hunt them. The dad is depressed because he feel like, why is all this bad stuff happening? First, I lost my sons. Now this Pharaoh is trying to kill my kids, and now he won't release my other kids unless I give him my only kid. Now, if all my kids pass, then guess what? My legacy is cut. That's how Jacob is looking at it. And like he told him, if all of y'all die because of this, you're gonna bring my sorrow and my gray hairs down. So this stressed Jacob out a lot. It stressed him out. And we're gonna let's continue. Let's continue. We're gonna go to chapter 43. We're gonna actually drop down to verse 48. We're gonna drop down to verse 48. Not verse 48, but we're gonna go to chapter 48. We'll go to chapter 48. Salakia. Genesis chapter 48, verse 1. Genesis chapter 48, verse 1. And it came to pass after these things that one said to Joseph, Behold, thy father is sick. He took with him his two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, and one told Jacob and said, Behold, thy son Joseph come upon thee. And Israel strengthened himself and sat upon the bed. And Jacob said to Joseph, Elohim appeared unto me in the look of the Canaan. Let me actually go back. Let me go back. I might have to go back a little bit. Slovakia. Let me go back just a little bit. Slovakia, 1 second. Okay, let's go verse 1. And the famine was sore in the land, and it came to pass when they had eaten up the corn which they had brought from out of Egypt, the father said unto them, Go again, buy us a little food. And Judah spoke unto him, saying, The man did only is forewarn us, saying, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. If thou wilt send our brother with us, we will go down and buy thee food. But if thou wilt not send him, we will not go down. For the man said unto us, Ye shall not see my face, except your brother be with you. And Israel said, Wherefore dealt ye so ill with me, as to tell the man whether ye had yet a brother? And they said, The man acts straightly concerning ourselves and concerning our kinsmen, saying, Is your father yet alive? Have ye another brother? And we told him according to the tender of these words. Could we in any wise know that he will say, Bring your brother down? And Judah said unto Israel his father, Send the lad with me, and we will arise and go, and we will may live and not die, both we and thou, and also our little one. For except we had lingered, surely we had now returned a second time. And the father Israel said to them, If it be so now, do this. Take the choice fruit of the land and your vessel, and carry down the man a present, a little balm, and a little honey, spicery, and lavender, nuts and almonds, and take double money in your hand. And the money that was returned in the mouth of the sack carried back in your hand, prevented in the oversight. Take also your brother and arise and go again unto them. And Elohim Almighty give you mercy before the man, that he may return, that he may release unto your other brother and Benjamin. And also for me, I will be bereaved of my children and am bereaved. And the man took the present and took double money in the hand and Benjamin, and rose up and went down to Egypt and stood before Joseph. And when Joseph saw Benjamin with them, he said to the steward of the house, bring the men in the house and kill the beast and prepare the meat, and the men shall dine with me at noon. And the man did as Joseph bade. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house, and the men were afraid because they were brought into Joseph's house. And they said, because of the money that was returned in our sack at the first time, are we brought in, that he may seek occasion against us and fall upon us and take us for bondmen and our asses. And they came near to the steward of the house, and they spoke unto him at the door of the house and said, O my Lord, we came indeed down at the first time to buy food. And it came to pass, when he came to the lodging place, that we opened the sack, and behold, every man's money was in the mouth of his sack. Our money is full weight, and we brought back into our hand. And other money we brought down in our hand to buy food. We know not who put our money back in our sack. And he said, peace be to you, fear not. Your Elohim and the Elohim of your father has given you treasures in your sack. I had your money. And he brought Simeon out unto them. And the man brought the men into Joseph's house and gave them water, and they washed their feet, and he gave their asses provider. And they made ready the presents against Joseph come at noon, for they heard that they should eat bread there. And when Joseph came home, they brought him the present which was in the hand of the house, and bowed down to him to the earth. And he asked them of their welfare, and said, is your father where? The old man of whom ye speak, is he alive? And they said, thy servant our father is well, he is yet alive. And they bowed the head and made obedience. And he lifted up his eyes and saw Benjamin his brother, his mother's son, and said, is your youngest brother, of whom ye spoke unto me, is he? Said, Elohim be gracious unto thee, my son. Joseph made haste, for his heart yearned towards his brother, and he where where to weep. And he entered into his chamber and wept there. And he washed his face and came out, and he refrained himself and said, set on bread. And they set on for him by himself, and by themselves, and for the Egyptians they did eat with him by themselves, because the Egyptians might not eat bread with the Hebrews, for that is an abomination unto the Egyptians. And they set before him the firstborn according to his birthright, and the youngest according to his young, and the men marveled one with another. And the portions were taken unto them from before him, but Benjamin's portions was 5 times as much as any of theirs, and they drank and were merry with him. Con, So we see here, guys. He, it's he like a person who, imagine losing your family, right? And he still had a lot of love for a lot of the brothers. So much so that it brought him to tears. He didn't want him to see him crying, so he, went into his chambers and cried. Like, he went to the room and cried. But we see that he's pretty much calling them out on the stuff that they're saying. They did something wrong to him. He's going to make sure that they're aware of all of that stuff. And everything he's doing for a reason. I want to continue this story, but I want to drop down. So we see that he's in the process of reconnecting with his family. He's concerned about the the well-being of his dad. He's also concerned about his little brothers that had nothing to do with this. But we see that he also had mercy for the brothers who did him wrong, because he could have instantly got them back right now. He could have put them in prison. He could have had them killed, had them beat, whatever the case may be. Or he could put him in a similar situation himself. He had the power to do all that. So we do see that as well. A lot of the stuff that we see here, guys, this is how we maneuver through life and judge our own situations. As we take a closer look at Joseph, we take a closer look at ourselves, and we see similar stories, and we know how to handle things. We have a little cheat sheet on how to handle these situations, because we already see different ancestors that went through the exact same thing. We see what happened to them, and we got a good idea how we can handle these things. That's what it's about. These stories are not to just look at it to be like, oh, that's a good story. No. These stories are to look at and to how to maneuver through your own life with this advice, with these principles, with these lessons. The law, statutes, commandments they're made to help you in your life and give you success. Just like in this situation, if they would have followed the law, statutes, commandments, then they wouldn't have been in a situation where they have to explain all this stuff. But everything happened for a reason, right? Everything definitely happened for a reason. So it's like, it's like it's all about the lessons. It's all about the lessons, guys. So let's dive back in. Let me try. Because we're getting closer to top 47. Slovakia. I think it's going to be verse 40. 46, I think. I think chapter 46, I believe. Go back to chapter 45, maybe. Because we're looking through verse 40. Because when you look at the him getting back with his family and reconciliation, we're going to look at Genesis 42 to 47. And make sure you guys take time to investigate these things on your own. The scriptures speak in layers and entendres, and there's a lot of stuff that he gives me. It's a lot of stuff that he's going to give you. And in turn, you can give that information right back to me, comment, inbox, and we can all learn together. That's what it's about. Let me bring this information up real fast, guys. You're going to want to make sure that you look this stuff up. Always study yourself. It's very important that you get your study in. is very, 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 very important, guys. Genesis chapter 45, 9 through 13. Joseph tell his brothers to return to Jacob and say, Elohim has made Yah of all of Egypt. No, let me repeat. Genesis chapter 45, 9 through 13. Joseph tell his brothers to return to Jacob and say, Elohim has made him Pharaoh of Egypt. Come down to me, do not tarry. You shall tear my father from all my splendor in Egypt. Huh? So in Genesis 45, 9 through 13, that's when he reconnected with his brothers and let them know, when you guys, what y'all did to me, as a result, the Most High protected me, and as a result, I became the Pharaoh. I became second in command in Egypt. Genesis 45, 21 through 24. Joseph provides wagons, provision, and charges of clothes for the journey, as well as special gifts and donkeys loaded with the best goods of Egypt. So at that time of Genesis 45, 21 through 24, he sent all of the riches and all of the treasures and all of the good food and clothes, everything that back to his family. Genesis chapter 45, 25 through 28. The brothers return to Canaan and tell Jacob that Joseph is alive and ruler of Egypt. At first, Jacob is stunned and does not believe them. But when he sees the wagon Joseph sent, his spirit revives, and he says, Enough, my son Joseph is alive. I will go to see him before I die. Genesis chapter 46, 28 through 30. Joseph prepared his chariot and goes to Goshen to meet his father. Let's take a look at the Genesis chapter 46, 28 through 30. And Israel said, Genesis chapter 46, 28 through 30, guys. And he sent Judah before him unto Joseph, and he saw the way he saw before him unto Goshen, and they came into the land of Goshen. And Joseph made ready his chariot and went unto him to meet Israel his father to Goshen, and he presented himself unto him, and he fell to his neck, and he wept on his neck a good while. And Israel said to Joseph, Now let me die, since I have seen thy face, that thou art yet alive. And Joseph said unto his brethren and unto his father's house, I will go up and tell Pharaoh, and will say unto him, My brethren and my father's house, who were in the land of Canaan, are come unto me. Come. So we see that he reconnected with his family. He reconnected with his dad, but it was very important. It's just like now. A lot of our elders, they're hanging on to life for certain purposes, and if you don't have a purpose, it can shorten things. You don't have anything to live for. So we see that he reconnected with him, and his father was able to rest in Shalom. And that was Genesis chapter 46, 28 through 31. And Joseph said unto his brethren, to my father's house, 32. And the man of the shepherds, for they have been keepers of cattle, and they have brought their flocks and their herds and all that they have. And it shall come to pass when Pharaoh shall call you, that you shall say, what is your occupation? And ye shall say, the servants have been keepers of cattle for our youth until now. Both we and our fathers, that we may dwell in the land of Goshen, for every shepherd is an abomination unto the Egyptians. Come. So we basically, so as a result of all of this, and a result of Joseph's hard work, we was given a certain land for us to be, and for us to be in peace and serve Yah, and do all of our dailies. So a more overlook other guys, we can be in a situation like Joseph. We can be set up by our own family to be sold to slavery, to some type of form of slavery. But if we trust Yah, stay faithful, stay loyal, keep the law, statutes, commandments, the Most High can take us from a prisoner to a Pharaoh. This has been another episode of Word of Mouth, a Morning Manna edition. Much love and respect to everybody who tuned in. I have a, bear with me. In closing, I have some type of message here. It's me, Shannon 101. What in the name of Black Hebrew Light is going on? Oh, really? Let's see. Okay, let's see here then. Somebody asking me some type of question here. Somebody asking me some type of question. I don't have much time for that. Get them out. Get them out of there. This has been another episode of Word of Mouth. A closer look at Joseph in closing. Much love and respect to everybody who was tuning in. Stay tuned for more laws, statutes, commandments, more Torah. We're going to keep it going. Until next time, I bid you all Shalom.